Hello and welcome to Living is Giving. My name is Mark Curran,
And I'm Joanne Crobot.
and we're here today to introduce you to our new event that we had just put together on May 29th. And we're really excited because it's really about contribution and growth and the power that, living is giving has to not just change the world of those that we give to, but can actually help us change our world as well. There's a lot of great work going on in the world today, and the world needs it now more than ever with the state of the world. And our mission with Living is Giving is to create a platform where we can share the philanthropic work of many of the experts and charities that are out there to make a difference in the world. And I want to pass off now to Joanne to introduce our guest, one of our sponsors of Living is Giving. Joanne, to you.
Thanks, Mark. This is great. So I'd like to introduce you to Tom Wach. He's the president of Pinnacle Lifestyles, and they are one of our sponsors at Living is Giving on May 29th. So Tom, welcome. Great to see you.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me.
Thank you. So Tom and I met because Tom is also, I'm president of Basket Brigade Canada. So Tom is one of our board members. He's our board vice chair. So that's how we met, which is so exciting. So we thought, let's work on this event and make it an amazing day for people. So why don't you tell us, Tom, about Pinnacle Lifestyles and what that's all about?
Sure. So Pinnacle Lifestyles is a real estate concept that provides recreational properties. We're currently focused in Western Canada doing campgrounds and RV parks. And really the thesis behind it is to provide the opportunity for people to be outside, build meaningful connections, spend time with their family, and we try and create the venue for them to build those memories by kind of providing those properties and with the goals of eventually going internationally as well. And so it kind of fits well with my background and the Basket Brigade background, and part of our brand is very much tied to being part of the local community, having a positive impact, and giving back as well. So myself and our founders as well always have that kind of tie. So brings it all back together to the brand for us.
That's wonderful. So where's your next location? Like right now you're in Western Canada?
Correct. So we're by Edmonton, Alberta right now, between Edmonton and Jasper, in a forested park there. That was our first one. And the second one is in Revelstoke, British Columbia, which is about 10 minutes away from one of the largest ski hills in North America. I like to call it an outdoor enthusiast kind of dream. Mountain biking, swimming, hiking, rock climbing, snowmobiling, you name it, you can kind of do it in that area. And that's kind of what we target is areas where people can spend time outside, right? And build some memories that way.
That's wonderful. Mark, we got to book a time to get away there. It sounds amazing.
Well, I got to say, I've been to Golden a number of times, and it's just one of those, BC is beautiful. Canada is beautiful. And Golden and that whole area, when you get up through the Rockies and you get into that area, you mentioned Jasper as well. If nobody's ever, if you haven't been here, when we can start traveling again, it's certainly a place to really take in, because the beauty of these areas, like say with the ski hill that they've got there, outdoor enthusiast, it's heaven for anybody who likes the great outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Revelstoke, very similar to Golden. That's really what we target is the landscape and the outdoor opportunities speak for itself. Hence why we're doing campgrounds. The idea is to be outside, not to be inside.
Yeah, and I like that what you guys do is build community, because, community is really what, is such a catalyst for growth, for change, and for creativity, not to mention just great mental and physical health, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a big part of our brand. We kind of look at society these days, and Tony Robbins is a perfect leader in this space of thought, but people are not getting outside enough. They're not having meaningful connections. They're stuck in their houses. COVID has only made these things worse, but I think they existed before that. It just made them that much worse, right? So being healthy, jumping in the cold water, going in a sauna, going for a hike, but actually knowing your neighbors, is super important to our brand. So it's not only we do real estate properties, but it's very much focused on creating that opportunity to live a healthier lifestyle.
That's fantastic. Well, I like that you mentioned Tony, because, that's actually the common denominator that has, I think, really connected us all. I met Joanne in the Tony world many years ago. We're both part of Tony's leadership team as well when he does events, now all being done virtually. And the power of the Basket Brigade, and that's something that connects you guys. And just, for those of you who don't know, Basket Brigade was really started by Tony probably 40 plus years ago. And if you hear his story, you can Google it on YouTube and things. But it was about when they were growing up poor and young, they had no food, and it was Thanksgiving time. Some guy came by their door, some stranger, and dropped them off a full Thanksgiving dinner. And Tony's dad at the time was even too proud to want to accept it. And as Tony tells it, goes, the guy steps his foot in the door and says, "Don't be too proud to feed your family," and something along those lines anyways. And then Tony made it part of his mission to give back and help other families as he started becoming more and more successful. And this is part of the inspiration of what Living is Giving is, when we do well, how do we give back? And there's so many different ways to give back. And I know Joanne started Basket Brigade Canada in Toronto and is doing amazing work. And how many people this Basket Brigade and Tony's Foundation has fed around the world, and the lives that has changed has really been inspiring. And that's what brings us here. And that's why we want to share this message to the world and really inspire people to really, how can we have a better everyday life by giving even more of ourselves to create a better day life for everybody else too, right?
And it feels so good to give back. This is why we started Basket Brigade Canada. That was an inspiration from Tony that I got in 1992, and we've been delivering since 1993. Every Thanksgiving since then, we've delivered a week's worth of groceries to people in the Greater Toronto area. And we just received our charitable status a couple of years ago, and hence we needed a board, and now Tom is on our board, which is so exciting. So, one thing leads to another, and here we all are, and we're still changing the world. This event's going to be amazing. It's going to be a positive, happy day versus, some people that are watching TV every day, they need something happy and positive in their life and something to look forward to. And that's what we're going to create with Living is Giving. So we're so happy to have you as a sponsor, Tom, because people need to get out and, enjoy the fresh air again with their families. They've been cooped up, like you said, and it's going to be an exciting time when we all get out again and are able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually trying to remember how I got involved, but I'll just kind of give you my quick backstory. I started doing it on my own. It was a Tony Robbins podcast that got me on it. And so I started kind of doing Basket Brigade on my own. And I think, Joanne, you reached out to me because I think my email was somewhere, and then the rest is kind of history. So it's interesting how common threads kind of bring people together. And it's been a great privilege to work with Joanne. She does crazy work. I think I'm busy sometimes, and she beats me as far as what she's doing there. So good job.
Well, Joanne, it's true. You're always on the go.
Yeah, that's right. I rarely sleep. So I remember how we met, Tom. I got a call from a transportation company that we were working with. And he said, "I have 57 skids of frozen burritos." And I thought, oh, we don't have a location. Where are we going to do that? And so I said, okay, so I'm in Toronto. He's, where is it now? He goes, "It's in Calgary." I said, "Oh, is it coming to Toronto?" He said, "No, it's got to stay in Calgary." I thought, I don't really know a lot of people in Calgary. So I went on to Tony's website, and that's how I got your information and other people's, Carolyn's as well in Calgary. And then I tried to get in touch with you. And then I found out, maybe there's some shelters, and the shelters led me to the Calgary Food Bank. And we ended up donating the 57 skids of frozen burritos to the Calgary Food Bank. So lots of people were very happy in Calgary that month. So exciting. So let us know, maybe what's up and coming for Pinnacle Lifestyles. What's in the next year? What are you looking at doing?
Right now we're days away from opening our campgrounds for reservations. So it's been a whirlwind of cleaning and getting everything ready. But long term, I mean, we're going to be raising capital again for our projects. Super excited. We're next week launching our reservation systems to kind of fill our campgrounds, and then it's time to deliver the Pinnacle experience to campers this summer. Long term, it's focused on international stuff as well. You know, Western Canadian campground or recreational properties are step one for us to kind of get a base, and then we're looking at places in Honduras. One of my founders has a foundation called Pinnacle 2020 Foundation that builds schools and does lunch programs. A bunch of children in Honduras, so that's obviously close to our hearts. Beautiful place, amazing beaches, very affordable. Definitely somewhere we want to expand to. Hawaii, Mexico, all those places. Like the brand wants to be an international brand to just provide that opportunity, and you can choose if you want to go camping, if you want to go to a beach, you can kind of do it all, and it's all done under an affordable time kind of mindset. So lots of growth and dreams ahead, and very excited for that path.
And what's your website so we can have a look at that as well? And how large are the campgrounds?
So the one, I guess, towards Jasper, I won't say it's in Jasper. I don't want to lie about that. It's probably an hour and a half away from there. But for people not right from there, that's a fairly good marker on a map. 143 sites there, and then there's 180 sites in the one in Revelstoke. So fairly large size campgrounds. And then the website is pinnaclelifestyles.ca.
That's great. We'll have to put that in the link below, right? That's great. We'll put all the links below so everyone can check everything out. How exciting. Wonderful. And the great locations. I've been to Hawaii and to Mexico. It's just such a beautiful area. Wonderful. Can't wait to go there one day. We got to book a vacation.
Absolutely. Well, I also love, Tom, that you guys have, you know, a foundation associated with you guys and doing work around the globe. So one of the questions I really have is, you know, when you're contributing and giving back and seeing the difference that makes, that service makes, and, you know, that heartful service, that service that is just because you want to do it. What does that feel like when you see people benefit from the work that you're doing in that way?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it feels great. I won't lie. Sometimes it's also disappointing. You got to really do it because you want to do it, not because of the reward. I think I've talked to this with Joanne numerous times. Sometimes you'll donate food to a family and you put yourself in their shoes, and it's very awkward. Like Tony Robbins' story is exactly that. Like you didn't want it at first, right? So that can't be the reason you're doing it, but naturally, just by doing it, not only do you feel inspired, you feel motivated to go and be more successful and kind of accomplish your own dreams. You can do more and more and more of that, right? Like living is giving is totally true, because there's no point working your butt off if it doesn't benefit anyone other than yourself, right? And having that opportunity to do that is a big realization of kind of your own success in my mind. So it's ultimately a great feeling, absolutely. And the best feelings are ones where you see the impacts kind of last, right? So for example, like our 2020 Foundation, when you start seeing it year over year over year, and the kids are getting older and older, the schools are developing. You went from one school to now you have 3 schools, and kind of seeing that progress over more than one donation or one time is super rewarding as well. Even seeing the progress of Basket Brigade Canada as an organization that I've joined is awesome in of itself, right? So little steps, and then I mean, the rewards get bigger, the donations get bigger, and it all kind of grows and gets exciting.
And you've got a family now too, right?
I do, yeah. I've got a little guy who is a big inspiration for this brand of when I look at kind of where society is and how people kind of think about things, and he's a big inspiration of Basket Brigade too. So yeah, it's hopefully I raise him a little better than myself, as everyone always hopes, right?
Yeah, you've got
Isn't that true?
right?
So I just want to say, Tom, I really appreciate what you said about, you know, the contribution. You do it because you want to, not because, you know, you're being seen. And this is something Tony talks about in his 6 human needs psychology. You know, we all have a need for significance. I'm not going to go through all 6 of them, but as he would talk about the, you know, the 5th and 6th need our spiritual needs, which is to continue to grow and learn, and then to continue to contribute and give back beyond ourselves. And it's not something, there is a big difference if we're contributing because we want to be seen as being givers, right? Versus that heartfelt, I just want to really help these people, or even these animals, or nature, Mother Earth, whatever that might be. And this is something that I'm just really glad that you brought up, because it's important to, give where you want to, where it feels good to, not because you feel you should, because it looks good or anything like that. But when you have that heartfelt attachment to what it is you're doing, it's a very, very different experience in my life anyways.
Yeah, I think
When
it's
we,
similar
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's similar as kind of a career, right? Do you want a job that you're forced to go to, or do you want a career you're excited to go to? Charity is the same way. Like, food's really simple. Like, Basket Brigade, we're food, right? And I think everyone in the world deserves access to food, so it's something easy to get behind. But if you're donating on something that you don't connect to, I think it's that much more difficult. It's a task, not a goal, right?
Well, I saw an interesting meme yesterday, and it was talking about Jeff Bezos, and it says, the guy's got $193 million or $1 billion. There's 7 billion people on the planet. If he gave everybody $1 billion, he'd still have like 180 some odd $billion. And it's unfathomable to even think of that kind of money. And one of the things for Living is Giving is to bring the attention to what so many of these guys who are, and ladies and people around the world, what they do with their wealth, because there's so many of them who do so many great things, and sometimes it's not seen. And it's not that we want to make it seen in that way, but what we want to do is inspire people to find what they're passionate about to make a difference in the world. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. You can go to a care home. You can play music. You can give out food on the street. There's so many. You can donate your time. There's so much you can do to contribute, whether it's locally or globally. And that's, the purpose and the mission of what Living is Giving is about. And we want people to experience that feeling that when you give selflessly because you want to, damn, it just feels good. It does. And I've always said that, the world is at a place today where we have all the information, knowledge. It's at our fingertips. We have the wisdom as well. And there's no reason that people should be suffering, going without, the very minimal things that we need to survive: food, clothing, and shelter, right?
When we live from our heart, life is so much easier, and it just feels good to live like that, versus, like Tony says, in your head, you're dead. You got to live from your heart, and really, you can be practical and things, but living from your heart is such an important, that's why our logo is actually a heart, and same
with a helping hand.
Yeah, with a helping hand, exactly.
Yeah.
And Basket Brigade Canada is also a heart, because I think people are shifting. I'm noticing a big shift. People are drawn to that type of work, and it's so exciting that we're going to be having this event to celebrate that.
Absolutely. And I thank you, Tom, for your sponsorship. I thank you for the work that you're doing in regards to building community with nature, with recreation, with growth. And you have your foundation as well that's doing a lot of great work around the globe.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's always a privilege. Thank you.
Very exciting. So we're going to see you on May 29th, and you'll make an appearance there as well, along with our great speakers. We've got like John Gray, Udo Erasmus, Natasha Quintal, and Mark and I as well. So, and we'll have a special guest, and we'll have some fun things too. We're going to have some fun games and some prizes to give away. So it's going to be really an amazing day to really enjoy life.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today and giving us your time, Tom. And we look forward to seeing you on May 29th. And we invite everyone to join us May 29th for our first Living is Giving online philanthropic summit. And it's going to be live and interactive. So when you register, it's free. It's by donation. However you want to join us, we just want you to be there, to be inspired, to have fun, and build community.
And the website is livingisgiving.works, WORKS. So looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.